والحال تنقل كنتقاعد كنقبل عند سلزي هارنا سلزي كلنا تقلنا نسمع أفريقيا نقبل لاي سهارا مريض داقة فريق مدلو كارتو سلوا زهادرا هاجركا إركا تقدميتها أنا كاب إركا هو تقوله سمعي لي يفلق أمسبرا كم سنين قالوا لي بالجرا بسرعة بسرعة وبتعالي يقربني أبزحت على جزء تي ناي سهارا برها كندي يسمع الحمد لله ورينا يوم وجحت سمويا وينكا نزي نقدر المفتاح وجح بتنا تاتقبويهم سالا تكنولوجي كا فيديو يوتيوب أكيد بوليتيكا غرور إلا هذا نقدر أبي خرج نحونا بعد شاينا أبتنا كندلو أواجرهم دلو برهاتات كماي حملة وديرهم تغيروا دري أبزل ما أخلاي من رقم إسرائيل إسرائيل ينبغي سواتون فرقوا تقولهم إسرائيلون أبزل سراح الزملاء حامي سراح أكثر نتي هذا لون خبرها نبلو تغيروا لنا أنا إحناون هاجرنا مستركبنا هجر صوت أنا سرعة مستجبرنا في نور مابرا نبلو مستجبرنا نبتو طبعا نبتو من الأير كنا نتلتونا كابدنا جيجبنا كم زعلت لفندن أستمرون ذلوهم سبات مساعدهم زندنا شركنا فكرنا حتى نحن كلنا أبتموا لي على أساساتهم سباتهم كابدنا جيجبناهم كساتهم فقدرون سأفسر ذلوهم إنتي تكبر أستمروا مجمريا نعسى تحمل سلام فيديو مرينا تقوليت نسرع وتيت كم هنا بدحريها تي بروفيسور كم هم بكوينو بمانزا كاستمرنا مالوجي نحنها أبزوجنا دلنا حتون بريتون سالا تكنولوجيون كنا رغبنا مالوجي سلازي حجي بسرعة كوينا من كذا تبينا نقمل كالحالبين ماركز بجمرة هجينا في فيديو مكيدنا عصر تعمل ترى سريلنا نت فيديو نكراتل بدحريهم بروفيسور أسلم روحنا كوها هتونان ريتونان لنا حنا بروينا مال يغنينا
This is a quarter acre. This is a very small plot that literally provides all of the financial needs of this family. We've got building materials, we've got food production, we've got habitat, we've got temperature moderation. This is what we think of as the permaculture multi-layered food forest. But imagine what you're seeing here multiplied 8,000 times. And in this video, you'll see the genius four-year plan for anyone who filed to plant these all over the world. Welcome to Senegal. I'm here during the rainy season to see the work of the Great Green Wall of Africa. I've actually been in Senegal for almost 3 weeks, and I've been all over the country in many different ecosystems, urban, rural, dry, and wet. So I was in this Great Green Wall. The Great Green Wall of Africa is a vision, the project to plant a barrier of trees across the entire width of the continent of Africa, from Senegal to Djibouti. And the purpose of this Great Green Wall is to stop the southern expansion of the Sahara Desert. The Sahara Desert has expanded about 10% in the last 100 years. So we have the Sahara Desert, then we have the Sahel, then we have the savanna, and then we have the rainforest. The design is to actually have a barrier of trees to stop the expansion of the desert southward. So I'm here on the ground at the Great Green Wall to show how we can restore degraded landscapes, we can keep the Sahara at bay, create abundance, have people living here and thriving. So Trees for the Future has been around for over 30 years and now work primarily in Africa. Initially, they started working in Senegal in 2005, and at that time, broad-scale tree planting. But what they discovered was that a lot of trees died because they were not typically cared for well. So 2015, they started a new project where they work with farmers, they train them, and they take them through this 4-year process in order to establish a forest garden, or what I would call a food forest. So we've been traveling all around with the team from Planet Wild, looking at so many different examples of these different food forests. Newer plantings, more established plantings, large and small, traveling all over on back roads, through villages and towns, through baobab forests, agricultural fields, through muddy tracks, all through this really vast landscape.
I come from America, come see your garden, and I also have a small farm. I have beehives, and so this is honey from my own gardens. So you can have the taste of my home. Yeah.
What is this one? Oh, so this is a grafted Ziziphus variety. This is a nitrogen fixing tree. We've got the Lucana as this overstory that seems to be cut for building material and fuel wood periodically. We've got a mango, we've got the citrus mixed in. So it's really amazing to see such an intensive food production system mixed in with also a system that's producing building materials. This is a 1/4 acre. This is a very small plot that literally provides all of the financial needs of this family. We've got building materials, we've got food production, we've got habitat, we've got temperature moderation. It's brutally hot out here in the sun right now. And literally underneath that tree canopy, it must be like 20 degrees Fahrenheit cooler. Many months of the year, there's something to harvest from this garden. When you look at the extended harvest of a food forest garden system like this, it's really significant on the nutrition of the children, the nutrition of the family, the economic stability of the family, because when you are just growing annual crops, especially with the crazy fluctuations in weather now, you get a crop failure, you're in trouble. So these farmers are not taking the entirety of their land and putting it into food forests. Many of these farmers might have 10 hectares of food production that they're growing in annual crops like millet, like maize, like sorghum. So Trees is working with them initially to convert some portion of their farm in a 4-year process. They begin by establishing this living fence around the project in order to create a perimeter in which they can work. So the first year is all about protection. This metal fence will deteriorate. With the rains, it will rust. Eventually, it will disintegrate. Yet at the same time, the living fence species are growing bigger and stronger. By the time the metal fence deteriorates, they have a very robust living fence. Trees for the Future encourages farmers to start with dead fences made from organic material, or the farmers purchase the metal fencing themselves. They want the living fence to stay pretty tight and pretty well pruned, so it keeps plenty of room around, so you can cultivate close to it, you can walk close to it. You're continually cutting it for animal fodder. We've got firewood, we've got medicine, we've got fruit. And so even though this is just the barrier of the farm, it has many different yields that they are using. So it is this continual harvest. We've got this low fence that's kept low, but then it's kind of dotted with bigger trees. You have the jujube, that's why you have the crucifix, and then you planted Liracidia because the wind comes from this direction. This side of the fence, you will let it get high to block from the wind. It's very much the same design mind that we think of in permaculture design, and it seems like it's being done very successfully to great effect. We can see the abundance. This is only 2 years, and Trees for the Future has a 4-year program. So 2 years ago, this was just a field like we see out there. They went from growing 2 crops per year to now 18 different crops in this food forest, and now there's a supply of food in the dry season when the annual crops are not being cultivated. So, I mean, this is awesome. And the second year, they get into what they call diversification. So within the outside of this living fence, they then plant the diversity of tree species that comprise the food forest. They will then integrate vegetable production among the trees. The 3rd and 4th years are called optimization. So oftentimes, in the 3rd and 4th years, they will graft on select varieties. They will learn pruning, they will develop compost systems, they will increase diversity, they will increase productivity anywhere they can. And those 4 years are guided by Trees for the Future. Since 2015, Trees for the Future has helped to install over 8,000 of these food forests. I've visited a pretty good number of these food forests, ones that have just been established. I visited ones that have been around for 8 years or so. But imagine what you're seeing here multiplied 8,000 times. In many districts throughout Senegal, we see a trend, a movement of food forests that now is spreading because Trees for the Future's goal is actually to spread this methodology to every single district of Senegal and in other countries throughout Africa. Duncan Moy Dapo Gola Sinjai. Yeah. Means slowly, you catch the monkey in the bush. Means if you work hard, you can achieve a difficult thing step by step. So your garden is Duncan Moy Japo Gola Sinjai. Yeah. Okay. That's all. So that's my whole show. That's the whole show. Marcus, thank you so much for bringing me and my wife here to Senegal to check out this incredible project. Explain to me, what exactly are you doing?
Planet Wild is a global community that uses the power of YouTube to help fix our planet. We do that one mission every month. We go out and plant trees like we do here in Senegal, where we're planting 40,000 trees in this beautiful forest garden. But we also go out and clean up our oceans or bring back endangered species. And everybody can join the community.
Planet Wild's projects and videos are really exceptional. And I definitely encourage people to go check out their YouTube channel.
We're very keen when it comes to tree planting to partner with organizations that do it in the right way. And I think we couldn't have found a better partner than we have found here with Trees for the Future in Senegal. For this video specifically, we decided to plant 1 extra tree in this project for every comment we can get in this video. It's a nice way to get everyone, your community involved, really hands-on and make something happen in the real world. We do that for everyone who comments on this video before the end of the year.
Help us plant a tree. Planet Wild has created a sister video to this video of their experience here with Trees for the Future in Senegal. So check the link below to Planet Wild's YouTube channel. You can see the work that we've done here together. I was really impressed by the sophistication of the farmers that I talked to. Okay. They understand the system dynamics of what's going on here. They're grafting with selected varieties. They're aware of the relationships between the different species. And then at the end of the 4 years, the farmers graduate. And many of them then become teachers and plant providers. So they start a nursery on their own farm. And so this particular farm is growing seedlings now for the other farmers that have joined the program. And so this farm has distributed over 10,000 tree seedlings to other farms to spread organically to create this food security and economic security. These are the results that we're seeing in these projects. You know, I've been talking about the benefits to humans. Think about how much more vibrant of an environment this is to animals versus field agriculture, where crops are grown, they're harvested, the crops are removed, and then you have blank land for much of the year. But here, we've got multi-layered, multi-story diversity. I see the intrinsic stability that is created for these communities and these families through these forest gardens as incredibly vital. And I definitely promote this as a solution to a lot of the instability caused by a changing climate. The effects of climate change here have been just erratic rainfall and intense heat. So the solution to this instability is diversity. When you have crop diversity, especially in the form of trees and perennial plants, then it serves as a shock absorber where you can buffer the impacts of extreme rain events or drought. And you have to recognize the refuge that these forest gardens provide for the heat is also an incredible resource to people, just their basic well-being. People are living really simple, and a little more productivity, a little more economic resilience, a little more diversification of crops, it means a huge deal in the lives of these people. Thanks so much, and I want to remind you that if you leave a comment here before the end of the year, then Planet Wild will fund the planting of 1 tree in a Trees for the Future project. Also, check out Planet Wild's sister video to this one, and if you go and watch that and leave a comment there, then they'll plant another tree as well.
All right, أنا ما رجعني مدرنا عطاليو نحججن مبتي سنة بروي دا فاتينغا كمثالامو ولاتنا بخبري نكبلا مبتي سنة بروي دا فاتينغا ويلكم وعلى حان مزاحي ويلكم ሕራይ መደብና ቀፃሊ ስለ ዘሎ ኣብ እዚ ማንዛ ኣለው እዞም ፕሮፌሰር ንከታተሎም ኩላትና ድምፂ ቅንስ ኣቢልና ናብ ዝፀናሕናዮ መደብ ንምግባር የቐኒለን
So should I start? Okay, I guess we are ready for my presentation. Hello, everybody. So I'm glad that I can talk to you. It was too short notice to come in person, so that's why we can't meet this time. But I'm very happy that you are interested in how we can make the world a better place, how many people can have a good life and contribute to a green planet. And so I will present a little bit about my work at Hamburg University of Technology. So I'm director of the Institute of Wastewater Management and Water Protection. And I'm also running a research group on rural development. And so that's the main thing. What is important to restore the rural areas that are degrading around the world, in Europe, in Africa, in many parts of the world. And so restoration is urgently needed, and so that's what you have seen in the video. So it's a great example, and also that's what I will talk about. So just some feedback from the organizers is, can I be heard well? Is everything there on screen? Can you give me a heads up? Am I there? I don't get any response. You see me? Okay, I see people waiting. So then I'll just go ahead and I watch to check if something goes wrong. Yeah, otherwise I will start with my presentation. And this is about garden communities. And this is a concept that is like creating many opportunities, and I've actually written a book about that with this same title. And the idea is living diversely, producing locally, together with neighbors. And so the thing is that at the moment a lot of land is degraded, and so the two pathways for the future, as they are observed, are create a desert planet. Not a lot of people could live there, and life would be miserable. And that pathway could still happen. But luckily, there are millions of people running great projects, and the project you have seen, or the projects in Senegal, are an example. A little bit later, we will hear about Forbina's project, what we do with him in Ghana. And we also do a project in East Africa. And so a lot can be done, and if we create green urban, it would be possible that 30 billion people would live in wealth. And what happens at the moment, and I think all of you are aware of this, is that well, a desert planet could still happen. So there are quotes like only 60 years of farming left if soil degradation continues. And so soil degradation is one of the biggest threats to our future, locally, globally, and this is something that is driven by a crazy way of agriculture, where agriculture is fighting against nature, destroying the soil and producing food that has a lot of poisonous stuff in it, polluting the groundwater, and this will not go on well. So we need a lot more small farms, and this is what feeds the world. Okay, ganz nach oben.